Hello, Michael. This is Donovan from Legacy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Florence, South Carolina. Congratulations on your new 2025 Ram 1500. I'm going to go through a little walkthrough with you here on this. First of all, the key. You do have unlock and lock, and then to the left here is a tailgate release. If you double click it, it will release the tailgate. And then to the right here is the remote start. You can just double click it, it'll remote start the car. It'll run for 15 minutes before it shuts itself down. You can do that 2 more times before it actually makes you get in the vehicle and turn it on itself. So a total of 45 minutes basically. But the other one, double click this, it'll remote, or it'll drop the tailgate for you. You go to the tonneau cover, the spray and bed liner. You have a 4-pin and 7-pin wiring harness around here. You got a little step for the getting in the bed as well. And then you just kind of kick that back up and you're good to go. Now there's a little bit more to this one than your old one. A lot of the stuff inside has kind of been updated, and I'll go over it. First, we'll start with the door. Window switch is still the same. Your mirrors, so you have 2 mirrors here, the top and the convex at the bottom. To change them, hit the left or right, up, down, left or right. But the small convex mirrors, once you push this and then hit the left or right, it moves that one as well. So you can change either one. One's for blind spot and for towing. The other one's just a normal one. You do have blind spot monitoring in the mirrors as well. Once you remote start the truck, just put your foot on the brake and hit the start button. You're good to go. As far as the dash, this is all customizable. You can use the up, down, left, and right to kind of go through different screens. There's a screen setup that you can change the top right, top left, bottom right, center. A lot of different stuff. So if there's something you like, let's say upper right, you like the oil percent, battery voltage, outside temperature, whatever you want. Range still empty. That's a good one. Let's see. We'll go left side, upper left. We'll do compass. And the cool thing with that is everywhere there's a compass on the vehicle, it actually is live. It'll show you. But there's a lot of different menus. Some kind of like stats on the vehicle stuff, like gauges and everything. Your Sirius XM or your now playing, but a lot of people just leave it on the miles per hour and then it just adjusts the different quadrants, I guess, to whatever they would like to see the most. And that's all through the up, down, left, and right, and the OK button. Anytime you see something that has kind of different dots, like this one, means you can do the left and right and look through other stuff as well. But we'll just put it back to speedometer for now. Bluetooth is right here. Now you can do it on the screen or on the steering wheel itself. There's a answer or decline the call or end it. Drive modes, there's a couple different drive modes you can go through. And it shows up here as well. So if you have a tow, sport, off-road, and that all kind of depends on what the engine transmission is going to do and how the 4-wheel drive system works as well. We'll just leave it in auto for now. Now on the right side, you would have cruise control. This side is the normal cruise control, what we're all used to. Just pressing the center of it, you'll see cruise ready. And you can hold either the sets to set the speed. And then you can go up or down on that. And then you can cancel as well or resume. So if you come to a stop, just to resume, it'll go back to where it was. Now this side is the adaptive cruise control. So if you turn this on, and it's these 3 buttons, you're still going to set the speed over here. So if you set it to 80 miles an hour using the adaptive cruise control, it'll keep you at 80, but if someone gets in front of you doing 60, it'll slow down to 60. If they get out of the way, it'll go ahead and go back up to your 80. This is your vehicle length, distance to the person you're following, so you can increase the distance or decrease the distance on how far you are following someone. It also has forward collision warning and predictive braking as well. So if you let off the gas real hard, it'll start automatically applying the brakes because it believes you're trying to slow down quickly. So as you're leaving off the gas quickly, it'll start braking for you. It's not massive, but it will start already prepping the brakes and start applying some pressure so that if you do need to hit the brake real hard, it's already kind of there. But forward collision warning, it will also warn you if there's something ahead of you starting to slow down or crossing your path or anything like that, and give you a warning, and can brake as well. It's not designed to 100% save you from an accident, but it will help mitigate or at least the damage. And now all this with the adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, forward collision warning, that is all customizable. Some people like it a little more aggressive, some people like it a little more laxed, not really warning them as much, and I'll go over that with you as well. Gear limiter is 8-speed transmission, and you can, let me put in drive, you can limit like what gear you're running on. You'll see down there, right in there, that it's going to show what gear you're limited to. So if you're only going around a little bit, you can limit to second. If you're towing or something, you kind of limit to different gears, like let's say only go through 5th or 6th gear. But that's all in the gear limiter. Most people don't use this. I do here and there. Off to the right, it's your gear selector. Rotary shifter, so you just put in reverse, you're in reverse, neutral, drive, it's all right there. Most people just leave it there, fine. And then your 4-wheel drive system. So 2-wheel drive, most of the time that's what we're going to use, but this does have an auto 4-wheel drive. It's actually not a bad idea just to leave it in. When you have it in auto 4-wheel drive, it will work a lot like the new all-wheel drive vehicles, where it's mostly rear-wheel drive. There are conditions that it will go ahead and kick in 4-wheel drive. If you launch it from a red light, or if it detects any slippage, or you turn your windshield wipers on, there's a couple different things. Mainly if it detects slippage at all, it can go ahead and engage 4-wheel drive, so you're not messing with a button or anything. Now, 4-wheel drive high, that locks in 4-wheel drive. Now we are in 4-wheel drive, and it will show you that it is in 4-wheel drive right there. And you can do this while driving, so you don't need to do anything or slow down or come to the side of the road. It's all electronic. You can do that as well. 4-wheel drive low, you will need to put it in neutral and then lock it into 4-wheel drive low. It's on a very torquey, very slow, but it'll help get you out of anything if you really need to. If you are towing the trailer and everything up there in Pennsylvania, and it's muddy and slick, may not ever need this, but it's there if you do need. And this little N is a neutral out switch. If you do need to flat tow this for any reason or roll it, you can put it in neutral, take like a ballpoint pen and just push in, and it will electronically disengage all the drive shafts front and rear. This is your auto engine off option to turn it off. So this vehicle will turn the engine off at stoplights. It'll turn it off at red lights or stop signs or here and there. That's just natural. It's how they are now. If you don't like that feature, when you start the car, just push that, and it's not going to do that anymore. During that drive, it will just be normal. It's not going to do anything like that. Axle locker. This too, you can just actually you can do it in 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. It'll lock the rear axle so that they are spinning at the same speed. So if you are losing traction on one, whether you're in snow or anything, you can lock it up, and both wheels will rotate at the same speed. So both of them are going to get their 50% of power provided. Down here is the USBs. There's 2 Type A's, 2 Type C's, and an aux switch. You can use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on each of them, and they do charge as well. They're right down below. You also have another DC accessory outlet up here, so if you run a radar detector or CB or anything up there, it's nice so that you're not having wires all around the place. It's just right there. Now down here is your trailer brake control and your trailer steering, and you can center when you're backing up as well. And I'll show you. You can, the backup camera is really nice, and you can have like a top-down view on the hitch itself as well. And these lines turn as you turn the wheel. It makes everything a lot easier. And when you do have a trailer connected, you can use, this is kind of a system that I really suggest you watch through the videos I sent and will send, and kind of get a quick overview, and then let me know if you have any questions about it. But the trailer brake, you can set in the dash 3 different trailer types. So if you have different trailers, different weights, different you need different braking pressure, you can set the gain, and it all shows up here. You can set the gain on each of them, raise, lower, and then you can, test it too. So I'm sure you know 100% how to work that, but if you do have any questions, give me a call as well on that. Then you have your parking sensors, front and rear, off. If you're putting in tow mode, it's going to go ahead and turn the rears off for you. But if you need to, you can turn them off for any reason, especially when backing up. Now, it also has some safety features where if you are backing up and your parking sensors are on, it's going to try to brake so you don't hit anything. That's another feature that you can adjust, how sensitive it is or not. But you can, or you can just turn them off before you back up also. And then your traction control. Depending on which mode you are driving in, what drive mode, may turn this on or off. If you're in snow or sand, or you have a spare tire that's smaller, you're going to want to turn that off because the computer's going to think one wheel is going at a different speed than the other ones. But pretty simple thing there. Now the screen, there's a lot to this, except it's not that hard once you kind of get the tabs of it. So generally down here, the home, the media, comfort, phone, vehicle, and apps, and nav, which right there we're facing west, just like up there. It's kind of cool. So as you turn it, it will show different directions too. Each of these are kind of a function. That's all you really need to worry about, and then the screen itself shows that function. Now, a lot of the stuff is also on the side. I'm definitely more of a buttons guy on a lot of times, but your HVAC is here. You got dual climate control, so you got one on each side, but you can turn it up, turn it down. You can change to different modes as well, which all pop up if you're not on that screen. You have fan speed, which you see in here, fan speed, and then your auto. Your volume is right here, which I forgot to mention. Behind the steering wheel, back in here, you have 3 buttons, and this is the same buttons on each side. So on your right side is going to be a volume up, volume down, and then a center button that changes through your sources. So AM, FM, Sirius XM. On the other side, it's going to be scan up, scan down, or change through your presets. While you're driving, you don't need to really reach over and do anything there. You can just use the buttons behind the steering wheel on that. So for the screen, we're going to start with the home button. The home button, this is customizable. So you have a split screen when you use the home button. It's going to show one set of information and another set of information. You can even scroll the whole thing off to the side to have another set of pages of one information and one information. Now this is up to you what you want here. If you look up in the bottom or the top left of each of these, there's that square with the arrow out. That just means when you push on it, it goes to the full version of that. But up in that little top right, that's an edit. So maybe you want nav, or maybe you want climate. Let's click there. Now you have climate on. And down here, right now it's a now playing, but maybe you want something else, like your phone favorites. There we go. So now you have, which I don't have a phone connected right now, but I'll walk you through that. Now you have a comfort and phone, if that's the things you do the most, right there. But let's go back, and we're going to change this to navigation, and we're going to change this to now playing. And we're going to scroll over. Nothing has been added yet, so we're going to add a widget, and we're going to do climate. I'm trying to go ahead and turn on. It's getting warm in here. Oops. And then we're going to add, let's say, gauges. Why not? There comes Dan. Actually, I don't think I have it set up. Here we go. Seat and wheel. That's a good one. So this does have heated seats and steering wheel. If you're remote started and you're up in Pennsylvania, it's cold, it's going to go ahead and turn on your heated seat and your steering wheel for you. But we'll turn these on right now. But I'll show you another way as well. But so that's just the home tab, and that is just setting up essentially the shortcuts to the things you like to see the most. Next tab down here is your media. This is where your AM, your FM, your Sirius XM, and if you plug in USB or your CarPlay, which just looks like it has wireless CarPlay as well, which we don't have one right now. But we'll go back to Sirius XM. But media is going to be all your stuff, all your sources, AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB. And if you're on Bluetooth, the controls for the radio and like on the head unit and on the steering wheel will still work. So you can skip a song, you can go back a song, you can volume up, volume down, all that. Now, you can set different presets, and it doesn't have to be all from the same source. So if you have a couple things you like on Sirius XM, you can add it. But if you have some things on the radio that you like, you can add that too. To add it, you're just going to push and hold, and there you go. And you have a lot of 15 different presets that you can go through, and you can just quickly look at all of them. But all of them are customizable. You can do everything there. To adjust, now also in the media tab, that's where you're going to adjust different audio settings. So let's say go up to the audio settings, the browse, playing, sources, all that. This is where you can adjust, fine tune lots of different things. So if you like phone calls to come in a little louder or a little softer than your media, your ring when it does, or navigation to not be 5 times louder than what you're listening to, like mine, you can do that. You can turn on your your surround sound, which I'm going to turn that on too. It makes it sound a lot better. Audio settings, if you want to. Down here you can just kind of click wherever or back in the middle and adjust. You can go up, down, left, right, all that stuff. But then your bass, your treble, and your mids, you can adjust. Autoplay, this is if you were in this before and you were listening to music and everything, when you get in the car again, it'll just go ahead and do that instead of you having to go click on Bluetooth, click on everything, which now my seats are getting hot. So here's another way. Everything can be kind of done like 2 or 3 different ways. It's really up to you. But my heated seat is now pretty warm. I'm just going to click up here, turn that down, turn it off. Sorry about the vibration or the focus here, and turn the AC down a little bit, which if I really wanted to, instead of clicking a million times, I can just drag it. I want to drag it down, and that's on both sides. So if your passenger wants to change their stuff quickly, they can do that as well, and that's in the top right. But even when you do stuff, it'll start showing as well. So it shows down here if you're changing all your settings for the fan, or it changes up there, so you don't have to like quickly look, or kind of look at something, go to a whole nother tab. It all shows everywhere. But back to the media. Another cool feature of this is the browse. You kind of look through different things here, but I think I'll do another video on just how the SiriusXM works, because there's a lot more to it. You can set like favorite sports teams and everything else as well. But we'll hold off on that right now. Next is the comfort tab, and this should be fairly self-explanatory. We pretty much went through a lot of this, but if you do go to the comfort tab, same thing. You can just, there we go, fan speed up, fan speed down, temperature up, temperature down, change which direction, turn on your heated seats and all. So you see these two things here. There's 3 levels of heat, and you can change the zone. So if you want just the seat or the back or both, you got it. So maybe you don't want your butt warmed up. Maybe you just want your back warmed. You can do that right here. The next is the phone tab. Click on that. We haven't paired anything yet. But at this point, if you want to pair your phone, which of course we do, if you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and they are capable of wireless, it will go ahead and set up the same way. If they're not capable of wireless, just use the chargers and plug them in for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But if you pair a phone here, it's real simple. You're going to hit yes to pair a phone. On your phone, you're going to go Bluetooth. Uconnect will show up as an unknown source. The system's called Uconnect. You're just going to click on that. It will confirm. You can make it phone your favorite, and then on your phone, it's going to ask you to allow. That's going to allow your phone call logs and your messages and stuff and your contacts to be imported. They don't stay on the device. It's each time that you only have to hit allow once, but every time you get in, it'll pull from that and be all set. And then you can set up your favorites. You can look at your messages. You can talk back to your messages. You can set up to 8 different phones, and you can set a priority level. So if you're the primary driver, when you get in, and let's say your wife gets in and you're both paired up, it'll first look to pair yours first before hers. But you can set a lot of different, you can plug in a lot of different things on there. Vehicle. This is where a lot of the settings are going to be for the car itself. So it's kind of like sub-tabs up here. You can view the backup camera at any point through here. You don't have to be in reverse. Dashboard. This is actually like an inbuilt guide. So you can set up your different trailers through here. Like I said, I don't know how many trailers you're going to tow, but if you have multiple, you can kind of set trailer 1, 2, and 3, their weight, their gain, their length, all through here, so the vehicle knows. One great thing about this and the blind spot monitoring, how they work together with trailers, is if you set the distance of the trailer being 13 feet, well, your blind spots now will work from the truck back to 13 feet. So if someone's behind your truck plus 13, 14 feet, your blind spot monitoring will still alert you. There'll still be the orange triangle in the steering or in the mirrors. It will beep if you're trying to turn. If you don't set the distance, that's okay too. You make a left, you make a right, and the blind spot monitor detects the trailer length and will know that you're towing that and that's about the length, and it's still going to alert you. So pretty awesome. I love it when I'm towing. Yeah, perception's a little off when you're looking through a mirror, but the vehicle knows that, hey, your trailer is still within distance of the vehicle next to you. Controls, kind of tell, you click on them and kind of adjust different settings there. But here's the big one. The settings tab up here under the vehicle settings, this is where you are going to go through a lot of different stuff. I really suggest you just kind of sit down for a little bit, go through every menu, because you can adjust the brightness of the vehicle or the screens during day, during night. The theme, if you don't like the white theme, maybe a darker theme. Touchscreen beep, to how many doors unlock when you unlock it, to if it beeps or flashes the horn, or a lot of times all this, automatic emergency braking and active lane management, which one button I forgot is your lane departure warning is right here. The system itself is right up top. I'm the guy who doesn't like it, so I turn it off. I keep it off. My wife likes it. So you can adjust how sensitive it is, or how aggressive it is, or how passive it is, and just kind of really fine tune it to what you like. Sometimes, sometimes beeps are annoying, maybe too loud, or maybe not loud enough. You can adjust all sorts of stuff in here on everything, and really kind of make this feel comfortable to you. But that's all through the vehicle and then settings. And then apps, I hate to say it's kind of a useless tab, but there's Alexa, which I'll have to talk to you about. That's a whole nother kind of course. And then categories. This is just kind of shortcuts to a lot of the stuff it does. Like I said, it even has like tutorials built in, user manual essentially. You can even check out the weather up here. Beautiful day down here. You should move down. You can see radar, you can see 10-day, you can ask it questions. This is showing Florence, but you can kind of look at different things too. Look at that. Technology's wild. Let's see how you're doing up there. Anyways, but apps, it's kind of just shortcuts. Now you can favor them using the star button. If you like to go to certain things quickly, and then it would be under your favorites. And the next is navigation. Now if you're an Android Auto or Apple CarPlay guy, maybe you're not using this that much, but I'll be honest, there's some bad navigations out there in different companies. I have been perfectly happy with Chrysler's navigation system. It works very well. It's updated. It shows you street addresses before you're even getting to it. It shows you your speed. It shows you upcoming exits. It just kind of pops up there when you're driving. there's so much to this that I can't complain about it. I'd be perfectly happy if I didn't have nav on a cell phone. But you can add favorites, you can add your home, add your work, add some favorites, and then right through the voice recognition, which is going to be on here, you can even say, hey, go home, go to work, go to, whatever favorite name you have, you navigate to, it'll do that. You can look for POIs, you can set your trips even in this, but I would start with the settings and just kind of set it up how you want first, and then start adding in your home, your work, and your favorites. But it works really good. And then it can show up in your dash too, your turn by turn, if you use it. Other than that, that's pretty much the interior. On the front, next is just what's left is the top. I don't know if we can see this or not, but I'll try to brighten this up. Right here you can drop the tailgate, your lights for the door, whether on or off, whether when you open the door it turns them on or don't turn them on. You can turn the lights on. Now these two, and this is your rear sliding window, you can open that or close it. And then these two buttons are new. This one is a Chrysler Assist, so you do have roadside assistance for out to 60,000 miles. So if you do need anything, you can just go ahead and press the button and it'll start calling Chrysler. It has its own cell phone built in, and because it has navigation, it can GPS load in where you're at, and then send out anything like whether you're out of gas or you need a change of tire, anything like that, they can send out. And this is SOS, so that calls a local 911. So if you're in a wreck or you need police assistance or medical, anything, you can just hit this and it'll call, and it'll also load in your GPS signal as well. Other than that, I think we're good. You got a couple glove boxes here, one in there and one for your other gloves. You get your a couple of towing accessories in there too. But it's a beautiful truck, and you have my cell phone. You can call me anytime. You got a couple storage in here too as well, which there's one more USB in there in case you need, and there's a kind of a channel here too to run any cords, so you're not crushing them. Other than that, congratulations, and hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot.